That's probably the most serious injury, though.
So, do you have any do you have any dietary things that you're vegetarian or vegan, or do you live by a certain way, or do you mix it up? Are you flexitarian, or are you just
flexitarian?
Yeah, or do you just eat anything, or do you have any things that you're passionate about in regards to food?
No, not a lot. I mean, I for me though, I think the overarching theme for me is always just eat clean, eat healthy. And don't beat yourself up when you have a treat. So there's a guy that I interviewed, Tim Robards. I think he's on Neighbours now.
Really?
He was like The Bachelor about a few years ago. And
what's his name?
Tim Robards, the Greek Adonis. Check him out. Shredded as all heck. Can you find him?
Okay, I got him.
Yeah. That was a 10-pack on the guy. So
he was on The Bachelor.
Yeah. So I went to Sydney and I caught up with him to do a podcast. And so he was a chiro as well, and really into like health and well-being, and that's kind of what we spoke about, was balancing a busy life with health and well-being.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like Strive. A lot of the podcast was speaking to business owners and people that were really busy and how they balance that with health and well-being. But he's got this really cool way of thinking about it. Is 70-20-10. So 70% super clean, 20% clean, and 10% relaxed. So you're not saying.
So it's not 70. 20, 10, 70, no, relaxed.
That'd be nice.
20%
donuts.
And then 10% super.
No, it's 70-20-10, which I think when you think about it, it's not so bad, right? Like if you can eat most of your meals that are pretty healthy, right? Like meat and veg and fish and veg and fruit and quality, eat organic where you can. Keep the intake of meat down a bit. We probably do eat too much meat. I had meat almost in every meal. I went vegetarian for like a month and realised, that's not for me, but it made me realise I ate too much meat. But it makes you realise, if you have a cake or if you have a few beers and a burger, like don't shoot yourself. Life's okay. We're going to be all right. Yeah. It's when that becomes a daily occurrence you've got to start worrying about things. So I don't eat a certain way. I get frustrated with now how vegan is trendy and it's cool. Yeah. Yet you see these people going, oh, I'm vegan, yet they're wearing leather shoes and have a leather handbag. I started an argument with like a 60-year-old woman in a cafe about 12 months ago on Hutt Street because she held up the whole queue at this cafe and she's standing there front. I'm starving, so I'm hangry now. I'm standing there and she's lining up and she's looking at all the food in the glass cabinet. And she's like, I just wondered what you have that is vegan friendly because I'm vegan. And the guy's just like rolling his eyes. I'm just standing there getting very hangry. And she's like, oh, what about that? What's in that? Because I'm vegan. And he's like, yeah, this and this. And she's like, well, what about this? That looks lovely because I'm vegan. And I'm just standing there going, just order something because you're not vegan, because you have a leather bag and leather shoes. Order some food. And she just looked at it disgusted. The guy was wetting himself laughing. But vegans that aren't vegans. No, just eat from however makes you feel healthy, but eat clean where you can. Organic's a good one though. We lose a lot of minerals.
There's no doubt after James Newbury, he made me think, you know what, I want to eat more plant-based. And then The Game Changers, I watched that and that's very biased, but I thought, wow, all these fit dudes, they don't need... that was with James. That was the first time I realised, like, you don't need meat to be fit. And
don't eat bacon in
I
every
reckon
meal.
I'm not saying the brightest spark out there, but I'm thinking, wow, I thought you needed meat. And I went, okay, I'm going to try to eat more vegetables and plant-based.
Yeah.
I can't imagine like vegan, like no dairy or not that.
Yeah,
So I thought, no,
nothing.
I'm going to try and eat more vegetables. So we changed our diet for sure. And at home, I'm used to eat meat. I would almost say every meal, like if I could sneak a bacon egg sandwich in, I would. So I changed that and went plant-based. And I don't care if it's dairy or anything or eggs, but I've noticed that I don't mind it. I actually thought, like, I'm eating meals now going, I can't believe there's not meat in it. And my mind of thinking I needed a protein for every single meal I had to fuel me, it changed. And that's James, just to him, because I hadn't looked into it as much as listening to someone, not trying to preach to you, not try to, you're right. There is a big problem about people trying to think it's really cool. I don't know how cool being a vegan is, to be honest, but who cares? But I've chosen to eat more plant-based.
Yeah.
And I actually really enjoy it. The other interesting thing is that the kids don't mind it.
Yeah.
I got one of my daughters, she thinks she's vegetarian, but she's not. She just, for some reason, we showed her, well, those cows are going to be slaughtered and the chicken, and she's seen on National Geographic and, what's happening? Oh, that's, she knows the whole cycle. She's like, oh, I don't want to eat meat. And, she'll have chicken sausages and she'll have all this other stuff, but she's a vegetarian. So I hope she doesn't become a vegan. I'm a vegetarian, but she's 6 years old.
Chicken's a vegetable, right?
Well, so for me, it's about trying to be a bit more healthier. I have enough unhealthy habits to think that if I can concentrate on most of my meals being quite healthy, then if I do have ice cream, chips, hot chips, potato chips, dips, let's not talk about things that are bad for me. I'd be a lot better. But in the end, I think it's about how you feel. And if you feel good about yourself or you feel like you're in a good space, I think that's enough. And my example of I weigh myself because I want to be around the 80 mark, right? And it depends how much water you have and all those sort of things. But 80 is sort of where I feel comfortable 80. When I was training really hard, I was at 75 and I used to look a fair bit, a little bit better. But when I sit there and I go on a holiday, so we just come back we had a ski trip in Japan. We had beers for lunch. We ate ramens for lunch. We had, sushis. We had lots of, there was meats and that, so I wasn't starving myself. I wasn't going vegetarian. I ate whatever we had, drank a fair bit of booze, not over the top, but a fair bit of booze. Came back exactly the same weight.
Yeah.
And I was like, why every time I go away? And I put it down to maybe that's because I'm more active. So you're on the slopes all day, or if I'm on any other holiday, I'm walking around somewhere where if you go to an office and you sit at a desk and you walk to the coffee machine or back, you can only do so much exercise doing that. So for me, I've noticed almost no matter what I eat, I stay about the same weight, but I'm making smarter decisions in regards to what I am eating. And that's just a conscious effort, but I feel better about it, even if that's just in my mind. Yeah.
Look, I mean, people just check out those things called the blue zones, right? It's like these specific places where people are living to 1,000 years old. Everyone's 100 in these places.
Yeah.
You look at the way they eat, and it doesn't typically conform. They're all vegans. They're not all plant-based. They're having wine and siestas. They're having rice a lot of the time in the Asian blue zones. It doesn't conform to what we all perceive we should be doing as a way of eating. But what they are all is active.
Yeah,
they're all walking around. They're all farming. They're all planting crops. They're all doing this sort of stuff.
But they're with groups of people and they're having fun.
And fun is a huge part of it, and they're enjoying food. And food is a family. It's getting the family together. It's an event. It's not sitting in front of the TV watching. I don't even watch TV anymore. Whatever's on. Ballers. Maths. Shoot me now.
Who would watch that? I can't believe people watch that.
Did you watch it last night?
Did you see last night? Oh my God.
But you're right. Don't plonk yourself down in front of the TV and eat food with your kids. Make it an event and have fun with it.